Hello, Scruffy Politics here. There's Brett in Michigan, aka Stimpy. Steve here in Illinois. We're talking about the Trump parade or the military parade that is going to happen. Um, Brett and I might have two different takes on this. Yes, it's great to be patriotic and to love your country. It's awesome. However, this military parade that Trump wants is all about Trump because Trump will be the first president in our lifetime to have a military parade and he's tough and look at this. And however, aren't conservatives worried about spending money? Isn't that why they have Doge? And don't worry, Doge will not look into any of this with how it's spent, okay? Because they don't give a crap, okay? They only have one agenda, and that's to make Democrats look bad and to hide what Republicans are doing. So Brett, don't know about your take.
Well, I just think that number one, I think he's proposing this on June 14th, which is officially Flag Day, which is a day where Americans are supposed to put their flag out to celebrate their patriotic pride. And I think that, Trump is trying to bring back that nostalgic feeling of like when we had parades all over the place after we won World War II. I mean, I don't think anybody would question the fact that Americans were extremely patriotic during World War II. And a lot of that I feel like is lost these days. I mean, most of the protests that you see these days is, people talking about how, I mean, even look at with everybody taking a knee to the national anthem at sporting events. I mean, that's a symbol. I get what their symbol was with George Floyd and racism and everything, but it was also a symbolic way of saying America is a flawed country. We are not the great country that we were after World War II when we beat back Hitler. No, we're not that anymore. We've changed. We're something different.
And I agree with you on that. Like taking the knee was really stupid. Look at Colin Kaepernick. He ruined his career because of that. He chose his stance over the country. You should always stand when there's the national anthem. Hand over your heart. You should, like be grateful you get to have that say in America where you get to do what you want. However, Trump isn't doing this to if we really believe he's doing this to honor this country, it's the Trump show. It's always the Trump show. It's not for it's not benefiting anyone else. It'll benefit Trump to have this big military parade and spend lots of money. And I mean, he's already wastes a lot of money when he golfs, anyways, and flies to Mar-a-Lago to and from Washington. He spends more time golfing than any other president. But this is not. Yeah, it's for Trump's ego, for Trump to be the tough guy, military parade, here I am, ha ha ha. When this guy doesn't even respect the military. He calls them suckers and losers, okay? He doesn't respect John McCain because he was a POW. So if you or anyone in your family were a POW, he doesn't respect you. He doesn't. He doesn't. My grandpa had a brother who was a POW, and you know something? Trump probably does not respect him. So if you're in the military and you support Trump, I don't know what you're doing. You know?
Well, unfortunately for your point there, I think the military supports Trump way more than they ever did Joe Biden. I think most of the military people vote conservative. So I don't have a stat to back that up, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of been the case historically. I think same with police officers, law enforcement, and military typically are more conservative.
And that's and that's unfortunate if they support Trump. I could understand law enforcement backing Republicans because when it comes to police and the media, how the media distorts facts like they did with George Floyd, I can understand their anger towards the media, and then the liberals who will blame the police for anything these days. So yeah, that I understand. But Trump is a whole new level. Trump is a whole new level. He's not a Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan you could disagree with, but you could respect. Same thing with George Bush the father, even George W. Bush, even though W wasn't that great as the president. However, Trump is doing this, like I said, for Trump, his ego. He wants to sound tough. He wants to be that first president, and he doesn't care how much money this will cost. However, if Joe Biden ever, did this when he was president, or Barack Obama, God forbid, the Republicans would be shitting out their mouths and, saying how ridiculous this is and what a waste of money. But because of Trump, Mr. Trump will bow down to you. I don't get it's his cult. It's his cult.
I just think that people get wrapped up way too much in Trump's personality and the specter of Trump himself. I just think that he's trying to bring something cool back, and I think he's thinking about that little kid that he wants to view something like this and think, wow, America's a pretty cool place. We're a pretty strong and powerful nation. And, we shouldn't have to fear anything from Russia or China.
Wait, so
we'll be okay. We can take care of ourselves.
Would you be singing in the same tune if Barack Obama or Joe Biden did this?
I would, absolutely, because I do think that there's some value in building.
Would, but not the other Republicans out there, not the other MAGAs. No way.
I don't know. I see a value in having a patriotic citizenry. So I would be in favor of Joe Biden doing this or Barack Obama doing it. But it's just something that we've gotten away from. And traditionally, Democrat presidents usually want to cut down the military spending, which is probably one of the reasons the military doesn't support them. But, if you remember, it was Barack Obama, I think, back when he debated Mitt Romney that tried to make Mitt Romney look like a fool because he was like, we're in the 2000s. We're in the future here, Mitt. We don't need battleships. We need computer technology. If you understand technology to beat the Russians, kind of tried to make him sound like an idiot. Like, we're not going to beat Russia with battleships. Actually, that is how you beat all foreign countries, is with tanks, guns, soldiers, and battleships and airplanes. It's really that simple.
I don't think we'll ever beat Russia under Trump because, look, Vladimir Putin does not respect anything Trump says. Trump, says to Putin, stop it. Just stop. Yeah, Putin's going to listen to you, Trump.
Yep.
He knows you're a pushover. he knows.
Yep.
And Putin has stuff on Trump. Back in the 80s when Trump went there for some type of deal because he was in bankruptcy. Putin has Trump by the what, so Trump.
But just think about it. Think about it. So isn't it going to be a really sad thing and a bad thing if Trump can't pull this off? Because what happens as soon as they walk away from the table, right? Then the sanctions start, and then it gets ugly between us and Russia. And then where does that end? Now, if you're the president of the United States and you tell him to stop and you know that he won't, well, what's the next step? Now you got to start killing people. Military action, bombing.
Trump said he would have the Russia-Ukraine war done within the first 24 hours. And now it's been a little over 100 days, and we all figured out Trump was bullshitting.
Well, all candidates say things. Biden said a lot of shit that wasn't true.
Yeah,
Kamala definitely said a lot of stuff that was never, ever going to come true. So Trump did say he was going to solve this on day one, and he hasn't. It's proving to be more difficult.
But I think that's what people realized, and Trump wanted to fool people and be like, "Oh yeah, well, no, Trump, and we've normalized this. We've normalized, and we kind of laugh at Trump because we know he lies. That's his thing, and we've normalized it. Where yes, all politicians lie, but oh my gosh, Trump is a whole new level. It's
Well, there's true. Everybody lies. I'm sure Trump has said lies, but then there's the lies where the media distorted what he said. Like I brought up the example earlier of they say, "Are you going to cut Social Security?" And he says, "No, we're not going to cut Social Security." Then the headline tomorrow is Trump debates cutting Social Security or Trump plans to cut Social Security.
well,
Then people like yourself see that and you're like, oh, Trump's lying. No, that's just what the media is telling you.
I don't believe neither. Even if Trump says he's not considering it, it
Yeah.
doesn't mean Trump's telling the truth. I mean, Trump
Well, that's
has-
true too. So
Yeah.
that's true. So Trump could say that he's not going to cut Social Security,
I mean-
and that's a very valid point to say, I don't believe him.
Yeah,
Because you could easily say it and turn around and do it, right?
something, and and I'm not one who, I think there's needs to be some, how should I say it, reconfiguration in how Social Security is, but I mean, yeah, I just don't believe or trust Trump when it comes to that, or look at just yeah, just
Well, there's
look
still
at the
a lot of
economy right
people.
now. Like
There's, I mean,
like the economy. Trump says, "Oh, well, the economy is doing much better now." Well, actually, when Joe Biden was leaving office, the economy was actually up, and then now it came to 90 to 100 days later, and now it's dipped, and it's all because of this tariff shit that he's playing around with. So
that is true.
It's-
That is true.
yeah,
he
but-
is. He has definitely introduced a curveball with this tariff situation.
Yeah.
And it
it's
still
all
remains
because
to
he
be seen
wants-
how it's going to be worked out.
And it's all because he wants it to be portrayed that he has the power. He's the tough guy. He's the man. Well, it's hurting our country now. It's other nations are laughing, but it's over 10 minutes now.
Yes.
This is kind of a wrap. This has been a good talk.
All right, we'll do another one. Like, subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know if you want us to do these more often. How often should we do them? How long should we have them? Leave a comment and let us know. All right, thanks. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye.